YouTube, what's good, y'all? It's Hendrick back with another video today. Last video, as you guys saw, I talked about my predictions as far as who I thought was gonna win, the individual and in some form the team awards for the NBA season prior to the bubble taking place. So today I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to talk about one player in particular, James Harden, and kind of go into kind of a deep dive of his offensive and scoring prowess, which he's well known for, and want to give you my opinions and give you some factual reasons as to why I think he's not only one of the most overrated offensive players in today's NBA, but he's one of the most overrated offensive players of all time. So, as you know, people, when I speak with individuals, I was in a chat last night actually, and I mentioned that I thought James Harden was overrated, and everyone killed me in that chat basically because James Harden, he averages 34 points per game, which I mean is great. If you look at it just based on what he averages, I mean, yeah, he's gonna score 30, 35, 40 points. And if you just take a look at that and be like, man, he's a fantastic scorer, right? Well, what people don't talk about is, for one, the usage, the amount of possessions that the ball is in his hands on a lot of cases, and no one talks about the amount of times he gets to the free throw line. He leads the league in free throw attempts and free throws made. He hits about 10 free throws a game and averages a little over 12. So he's getting a lot of free points just getting to the foul line. He also leads the NBA in 3-point attempts also. I mean, he takes 12 threes a game, and in the Houston Rockets as a whole, they lead the NBA in threes attempted and made as well. So, and he makes about 4.4 threes made per game. So that's between the free throws and the 3-pointers. That's 22 points just off of that. So his scoring is coming mainly from just sheer volume of shots. He's not efficient. Like, he shoots slightly under 44% from the field total, and he shoots only 35% from the 3-point line, which is, in today's NBA, you're not a good shooter. So, I mean, yeah, he averages 34 points, but he also leads the NBA in one other category, which no one ever mentions. So I had to do some research this morning, and the magic number is 808. That's the amount of shots that he's missed this season thus far, and that also leads the NBA as well. So, this notion that James Harden is a great scorer, and he's as his GM says, the Houston Rockets GM Daryl Morey says, he's the most transcendent offensive player in the history of the NBA. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Last night it was more against the Portland Trail Blazers. It was more of the same thing. I mean, his game is in my opinion, he's very predictable as far as what he's going to do on the offensive end. It's his game is straight isolation. He'll mix in an occasional, pick and roll, and that's how he creates a lot of his assists. But in terms of him scoring, especially in late game, what I noticed, especially late in the game last night, when he's on the far baseline, whether it be on the left and the right baseline, and he has the ball in his right hand. He's not going to drive to the basket. It's either going to be a couple dribbles, a step back, and three. And then when he shoots the three, as he's coming down, he tries to manipulate the refs and bait the defender into fouling him so he can get 3 free throw attempts when he shoots the three. So a lot of times he's not following through with his 3-point shot. He's trying to lean into the defender just to create contact, and that's part of the reason why he doesn't shoot a high percentage. Also, when he's going left, it's either a straight line drive. There's no variety in his game. There's no mid range at all. He doesn't shoot mid range. I can't remember the last time he shot a mid range shot. It's either a straight line drive or a 3-point shot. If you shade him one way, you force him to go right. He's gonna either step back, or when he drives, he's looking to pass. He can't finish. He can't finish with his right hand. He can't finish over defenders with his right hand. There's no floater. He won't shoot a 1-2 dribble pull up. He doesn't have those moves. He doesn't have it in his arsenal, in his offensive bag. He just doesn't have it. So, people think he's one of the best offensive players in NBA history, and I just no. Like, compared to guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe, Kevin Durant, like, he's not in that class as far as dominant, not only wings, just dominant offensive play. Like, those 3 guys can score anywhere, whether it be catch and shoot, off the dribble. They can score from the post. They can score in contact, through contact. They can score off pin downs, off flare screens. They can score in a multitude of different ways. James Harden, if he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he's basically useless on the offensive side of the ball. He's not going to move off screens. He's actually pretty good at catch and shoot, but that part of his game doesn't get utilized enough because he's the primary ball handler. And when Russell Westbrook brings the ball up brings the ball up the court, James Harden is a spectator. It's almost like he's just watching. He has sideline seats to the games. Like, he's not moving. He'll stand off in the corner, and it's basically a your turn, my turn sort of thing, dynamic that he has with Russ. So yeah, overall, my opinions. It's just my opinions. You guys can definitely comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on James Harden. I don't think he's this transcendent scorer. I just think, in the system that he plays in with Mike D'Antoni, it's pretty much it's a run and gun offense. Get in transition, shoot a bunch of threes. With today's NBA, number of possessions, pace of play is at its peak once again, like it was back in the mid to late 80s, with the pace of play, and the rules of today's NBA, the defense, how he can manipulate the refs and the defenders in baiting fouls. That's where a lot of his points come from. He's not a dynamic, truly transcendent scorer. He has weaknesses on the offensive side of the ball. He's not on the level of Jordan. He's not on Kevin Durant's level on offense. It's not even remotely close. He scores 50. He'll have games. He'll score 50, 60. He'll get hot. He'll hit 8 to 9, 10 threes, and he'll get to the free throw line 50 to 20 times and make them. He's a great free throw shooter. But outside of that, as you noticed last night, when he wasn't getting those calls, when he wasn't getting to the free throw line, he's not really that effective. When he doesn't have the ball in his hand, he can't do much outside of just ISO ball. He can't score in a variety of different ways that some of these other guys can. Even in today's NBA, guys like Devin Booker, for instance, he's a guy who can get a bucket, catch and shoot, off the dribble, 1-4 flat, a high pick and roll. He can do it all on the offensive side. But as far as I need a bucket, I know I'm going to get a quality shot. I think that's another thing that separates some of the elite scorers just all time and in today's NBA from guys like James Harden. Like, the shot quality from James Harden's just not there. He's just taking a lot of wild shots just to pretty much bait the refs into calling something. A lot of times he's initiating contact, drawing fouls that a lot of times aren't even there. But, the refs, he has a reputation the refs give him these calls. They've been giving him these calls, for the past couple of years. He's an MVP, so he's gonna get those calls 9 times out of 10. But as you can see in the postseason, one of the reasons why he struggles, he doesn't get those calls, and he doesn't have variety in his offensive bag. So if he's not hitting the step back threes, he's not gonna, and if he's not getting straight line drives to the basket, it's practically useless on offense. He's not gonna give you anything else. He's not gonna give you a mid range. He's not, when the defender shades him forcing to use his right hand, he's not going to do it. He's not going to shoot a mid-range. He's not going to drive to the basket and finish with floaters and finish even with a right-hand layup. He's going to pass the ball. So those are just my overall thoughts on James Harden. Please like the video. Greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe to any new viewers out there. I'll definitely keep the channel up and running. So appreciate your time today, guys and gals, and hope you guys have a great day. Peace.